Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we are going to talk about McCarthy, the budget, the debt ceiling, other Republicans, basic civics, and an interesting dynamic. A dynamic that has developed, and it is interesting, but to be honest, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable, and it has definitely altered my perception of some things. So what's going on? The Republican Speaker of the House, McCarthy, has said his budget, it's going for a vote this week. Other Republicans have indicated they have issues, questions, comments, concerns with this budget. Some going as far as suggesting they may not vote for it. By my count, at time of filming, he's going to need congressional approval, and he doesn't have the votes. Now, he is Speaker of the House, so he can put some pressure, make some backroom deals, make a lot of promises, and he can probably shore up the votes. It's not a huge gap. It's embarrassing for him to be in that situation as Speaker, but that's not the dynamic I want to talk about. I want to talk about why some Republicans have questions, comments, and concerns. You would think that it's because they understand that the budget cuts that are actually in it, they impact their voters, their base, their supporters, their constituents. This budget will actively harm Republican supporters. You would think that would be the reason they have issues with it. But for some of them, that's not it. That's not the question. The real issue, apparently, is that there's nothing in this budget that suggests they plan on basically balancing the budget within 10 years. Okay. If you are a staffer for a congressperson that holds this position, please listen closely. That's not how this works. That's not a thing. It doesn't matter. That isn't a clause that carries any weight whatsoever. I mentioned this in another video recently, and we'll come back to it, but there is no law that a current Congress can enact that is so heavy a future Congress cannot lift. That's not a thing. Sure, you can put the words in there. We're going to put a cap and we're going to balance the budget within 10 years. That's great. If the next Congress decides they want to spend 12 years worth of federal budget in 6 months, all they have to do when they approve it is remove the language you included this year. That's it. It's not real. There are multiple things in McCarthy's budget that are like this, like the caps on future spending and stuff like that. It's imaginary. It doesn't carry any weight whatsoever. All it does is make a future Congress write a few extra words in their bill. It doesn't matter. I was operating under the assumption that Republican lawmakers knew this. They understood this, and this was just them banking on the fact that they're, super patriotic, pro-America, pro-Constitution base was too ignorant of civics to know that it didn't matter. After seeing Republicans literally talk about withholding their vote over this, it makes me think that there are Republican lawmakers who do not know basic civics, who do not know the function of the Congress that they serve in, do not know the power of the Congress that they serve in. That is unnerving. The Republican Party has to get its act together. Set aside all rhetoric, all policy, everything like that. You are electing people that literally could not write a job description for what they're up there to do. They have no idea what their powers or limitations are. You cannot say, oh, I support the Republic, when the people you elect have no clue how the government works. If you hear your representative talking about, well, there's nothing about a balanced budget within 10 years, just assume that they have no clue how the government functions. Because there is nothing that this Congress can do to limit the actions of a future Congress in that way. That's not a thing. That you need a constitutional amendment limiting the power of Congress to do this. It's not something they can include in a budget. But apparently, there are some in the Republican Party who don't understand that. I'm assuming there are also a lot of normal rank and file Republicans who don't know that. You need to know that, because part of the budget is banking on you not knowing that. They're going to say, oh, well, we capped future spending. No, they didn't. They didn't. They wrote it in, but it means nothing. It's like them writing in, it can no longer rain in D.C. They have no power over that. The Republican Party needs to get its act together on so many levels, and this is one of them. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.